Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are looking at the YieldMax announcement on Wednesday, 30th of July 2025. In this video we're going to go over some background, my strategy with YieldMax ETFs, review of this week's affected YieldMax ETF groups, and show my updated dividend calculations based on this latest YieldMax announcement, and go over the action items that I have to do later on today. Disclaimer. Investing involves the risk of loss. This video is not meant to be financial advice, and other than owning the ETFs presented in this video, I have no affiliation with the company that issued them. So background, YieldMax makes announcements on Wednesdays every week. Usually, they have been so far. And this week, the announcement is going to be affecting their weekly ETFs and their Group D weekly ETFs, which are paid out every 4 weeks. Not monthly, every 4 weeks. So this affects the calculations if you go through the math of it all. All right, so my strategy is based on today's announcements. I buy more of the weekly and affected group ETFs to achieve my desired monthly income target. My current monthly income goal per YieldMax ETF is around $1,800 per year. So let's go through the calculations here. First, let's look at the announcement. Source here is YieldMax, July 30th, and you can see that they're going through their weeklies. They announced their weeklies here. Note the X date, so today's the 30th, the X date is the 31st, and the pay date will be August 1st. Can you believe it? We're already in August. The day is just, this year is just flying by. So as you can see, the weeklies are there, and then we go into the every 4 week paying, which is for Group D. And then they announce what they're going to be doing next week, which is going to be the weeklies and Group A. But let's go, our main focus today is going to be here. And so I need to take this data for the distribution, the dividend distribution here, and put it into my spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and get to that. Here's my spreadsheet. So I take the latest dividend, which is here, and I wipe that out, and we're going to input the data here, and also need to make sure that I've got, let's see today, yeah. So on the 1st of August, I'm going to be paid whatever, it's either going to be, it'll be paid from what we put in here today. And I use the average, or I use the latest, whichever is lower, so I can guarantee that I'm going to make the 1,800 per year. So let's go and get started. Control Z and put that in here. Oops, don't do that. There we go. That was a mistake. Okay, let's try that again. Control C. All right, so no new funds need to be added here based on the calculations. You will see where YMAG, they dropped the dividend in half again, which is not pleasant. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on over there. Or maybe it's so stable lately that they don't need to. But so far everything's, well, I'm worried about YMAG because I'm tired of putting money into YMAG because they don't have, they're not giving out enough money, dividend wise, or the dividend's so low it's a problem. But we shall see. The weekly should not be affected. Once the cycle changes and I up the amount that my goal is, I shouldn't have to put more money into the weeklies. But with YMAG, I suspect I'm going to have to, and that's going to make me go more on margin. So let's see, we are almost there. Ootly's holding up very well. And here's the YMAG. Again, they dropped it by half. Oh. But apparently last time they dropped the dividend by half, I put so much more into it that not going to be affected. All right, good to know. Whinging and ranting and complaining for nothing. Okay, so as I suspect, luckily all the weeklies have held up since 3 weeks ago when I added the funds that I needed, and they're doing all right and don't need to add any more. Let's look at the new stuff, Group D. Now here's another one, AIYY. I'm having to put double the money. They dropped the dividend by almost half, so that's annoying. Let's see how much I'm going to have to add here. Not Not. Okay. Well, apparently when you, I found an error in the calculations I was doing a couple weeks ago, so I changed everything, and apparently I was putting too much in because I was thinking there was only 48 weeks in a year. Well, that's not true, and when I upped it to 52, it worked out well. So far everything's working almost too good. Now I'm worried I'm not putting enough in, and why am I not? There we go. There, the DISO. Thank you for restoring my faith in how much in having to put money in. Appreciate that. Not really. All right, so we're doing all right. Only DISO so far. Yeah. Let's try. Next is going to be Misty. Now this one, ooh, this is kind of low, but I bought so many shares that. Oh, I finally have to. Oh, that's Wintry. No. Misty, I did not have to, but Wintry is the short MSTR. So maybe that's basically a what do you call it? Where you protect your account. If everything else goes to hell, I'll be all right with that one. That one should skyrocket, but we'll see. Control C. And the last one is YQQQ, which is the short N100. They have to add money here. Yeah. All right. Well, that's as expected. If everything else is skyrocketing, the shorter positions will get caught up in it. So let's go ahead and take this, copy that to there, and we'll take this and make sure that it doesn't make the calculations change. And it didn't. All right. So we're still we're on track. We have to add $5,100 to my accounts, and which is fine, expected even. Just need to put the money in, and the expected income is going to be $2,310.71. So that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and finish off the video here. If I can click the right button. All right, so in order to reach my latest dividend goals, which I stated before was $1,800 per year per ETF from YieldMax, I need to make some additional shared purchases into my account. The high yield dividend payouts should be reflected in my account on the 1st of August. And so come back on the 1st of August to see how much I actually received from my YieldMax ETF holdings. All right. So please subscribe, like, and comment. It'll help the channel a lot. And if you want to see more, if you want to see what happened last week with the cycle, which from YieldMax, click the video to the right, and you'll see a playlist for that. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks.